Hello! We are going to do some baking! Some of you wanted to see some baking, so this is what we're doing. Miss, I'm having a moment here. So rude. Anyways, I'm gonna do some baking. I'm actually gonna bake something that's pretty, I don't want to say typical Swedish. It's like, oh my god, chocolate cake. Riveting. But it is kind of a chocolate cake that's very loved in Sweden. We call it KLADDKAKA, which is basically mud cake. Yeah, it is, but we call it sticky cake. Sticky cake. Well, it is sticky cake. We do call it that. Basically, you have it in the oven and you pull it out before it's actually done. So, depending on your preference, it becomes anything from sticky to actually runny. Some people like it runny. I don't like it runny. I like it a bit sticky, but I'm gonna pull it. I'm not saying you're in the way, but you're not helping. Anyways, I'm gonna pull up some things because I have everything ready. 5-second rule, right? Nobody saw that. Oh, and I have my handy dandy recipe. I wrote this recipe. Well, I wrote this recipe. I did this in school. It's a collection of recipes, and I've like kept it for forever because it has some of my favorite recipes. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the recipe, obviously I'm gonna put the recipe in the description box. This is the one that I like to do, and you can just alter it in whatever way you want. I also have one with white chocolate that I love, so if you want to see that, why are you licking the wine bottles? I swear, this dog. If you want to see the one with white chocolate, let me know, but I will put the recipe in the description box. And it's gonna be like the European, international, every country but US measurements. So if you need to convert it to cups or something, you can just do that in Google. Just Google it and it will convert it. This is 100 grams of butter, and I am about, listen, they say baking is a science, but listen, I'm more of the about kind of a person. It's about 100 grams. So we are going to melt that. You know, the butter is not for you. No, it's not for you, I'm sorry. And this is the one, I like to use one that's like this. You can take this out, because then you can take this away when it's done, and you can serve it on this one. I think it's pretty handy. That's the one that I like to use. I'm gonna mix the dry ingredients. This is just regular flour. I'm gonna do 1.5 deciliter. And this is regular sugar. I don't know what it's called in English. What do you call like strösocker?
Sugar?
You just call it sugar?
Yeah.
So that is 2.5. And we're gonna do 1. Why is this close? 1 teaspoon of this. And hopefully not kill the butter. So I'm doing one of these, is it teaspoons? I think that's the one. And then this is the vanilla sugar. I think in US this comes in liquid. So I don't know, like just here we use 2 of these, the tablespoons. So I guess like 2 tablespoons. I don't know if it's like equal. Have you any idea about that? I literally have no idea if like the tablespoons are the same. This is just the cocoa. We're gonna do 4. I like to do it with one of these tablespoons because it's so hard otherwise to get this, like this one, to get that one in. It just turns into a mess real fast. So I'm taking about 4. It's not that deep. I'm gonna see if I can mix this a bit. Okay, so I mixed all the dry ingredients together here, and the butter is melted, so I'm just gonna leave this a little bit. There's gonna be eggs in here as well, but now I'm gonna fix this one. What I like to use, I don't know if other countries have this, but this is like liquid butter, and I just use a little bit of it. Like, we really do not need a lot, just to make this a bit sticky. I basically take a piece of a tissue paper like this, not tissue paper. In Sweden we call it kitchen paper. Kitchen paper. And I put it in everywhere like this, and on the sides as well, where the cake's gonna be. And when I have it like this, I will take a little bit of the flour, just a regular flour, and I will just pour a little bit in. You really do not need a lot. Like this is more than enough. And then I will literally just spread it around, because this is gonna make the cake a lot easier and like more workable. You see it sticks to the butter, and then I just shake out the excess, and we have the ready one like this. Using some eggs, I'm just gonna use 2 eggs, and I'm literally, come on. Okay, this one is like bulletproof. I'm doing 2 eggs. So I'm gonna mix the eggs in a bit. But it's gonna be too dry, of course, before I put the butter in. So I'm just mixing in a little bit. And then I'm pulling in the melted butter. And now this is gonna be the finished one. The batter? Is it called batter? Okay. It's not gonna be super runny. This is gonna be more like almost like a thicker paste. So don't be alarmed if you feel like it doesn't really like pour out of the bowl, because listen, it's gonna be like this, like a paste. It's like cocoa cement. It's supposed to look like this. Don't be worried. So this is what it looks like when it's done. And you can see it's like almost more like a dough than like a batter. It's like thick. So we're gonna pour this in here. You can see it's like so, because of the melted butter, it's just like slime. I love how I'm making this look so nice. And I'm just gonna use the spatula to just push this out. This isn't really a cake that rises a lot. It has a little bit of baking powder in there, but don't have to be worried about this cake like growing over this one. It's not gonna rise that much. This cake is perfect to put whatever you want in it. One of my favorites is actually putting marshmallows in it. You put marshmallows on the top and just press them in a bit. It's like a bit like s'mores. It's really delicious. But I'm gonna use Swedish candy Polly, and I'm gonna use Kinder, the Maxi Kinder. These are so nice. These are so nice, and I'm gonna chop them up a little bit. Let me get out of these. And I'm not gonna use all of it, but I'm gonna use a couple, and I'm just gonna share them into half pieces. I think that you can get these at IKEA. If you're ever at IKEA, don't forget to look at like the Swedish candy section. They look like this, and you basically just do halves of them, and you pour it in on top. Sir? Are you eating the decoration? He's like, I can have some too. And then I'm just taking this and I'm gonna pour it in here, and I'm gonna spread it out after just a little bit. So I'm gonna take maybe 2. Do I want 3? I think 2 is gonna be enough, because we already have some. And I'm just gonna take these out, so that we can have some kind of a... I'm just gonna spread these a little bit, so they're a little bit more spread out, so they're not all in the same place. These 2 melt a little bit. And then let's do these. And these will melt down, so let's do it like that. So that's gonna be the finished thing. Am I in one of those cooking shows? Am I there yet? This is gonna go in the oven. It is 225 degrees Celsius. It is about 20-ish minutes, but keep an eye on it, because you don't want it to get too crusty. You use one of these cake testers and you put it in. If it comes out all doughy, you need it for a little bit more. But if it comes out and you can see that it looks a little bit moist, but no like batter on, that's good. If it comes out bone dry, you had it in for too long. It is approximately 20 minutes. So I'm gonna put it on 17, and we'll have a look. Okay, I have tried on the stick and it is slightly moist but not too sticky. So I'm gonna pull this one out, I think. Ooh, come here. You can see that it is a little like jiggly, but it's gonna set a little bit if we leave it here to cool down. And you can see that it has like torched, because it's like almost like marshmallow candy and it has torched it, so it's like a little bit I don't want to say burnt, but yeah. So we're gonna leave this to cool down, and then I'm gonna show you what it looks once it's like done. Are you judging me because I changed to sweatpants? I want it to be comfy! Leave me alone! Here's the cake. It is still a little bit, not hot, but get a little bit warm. So we're gonna see if we can pop this out. Might need to just loosen the edge a bit. I will literally just take this one out. So this is the cake. Are you excited? So it's a little bit, how do you call it, knäckig? I'm losing, like, I know how to say these words, like makeup words in English, but then we come to like cooking and baking and I'm just like, huh? Who? So you can see when you open the cake, you can see it's like really moist in here, but it's like baked out here. So this is like the finished cake. And you see all the candy? Oh my god. So yummy. So this is all mine, right? I get to eat this. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. It's probably super short, but I just wanted to bake a bit. I haven't been baking for a bit, and I know you said you wanted to see some baking. So this is just me baking Swedish KLADDKAKA. It is literally a lot of Swedes' favorite cooked thing. So, like, not cooked thing, baked goods. Because it's so easy to make, and you can pull whatever into it. And it can be, like, fancied up until dessert, or it can just be something that you do on a Tuesday afternoon. Which is, like, who doesn't love that? Anyways, don't forget to subscribe. Let me know if you want to see more baking. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!